and bass up the track a little bit, because I want to hear that booms, booms, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know the business. Common sense. So with the De La, get all them playouts.
Holla holla! What's going on, peeps? So last week I did a written review on this bike. It's a 2014 Street Triple R. Never had a chance to do a video. Didn't have really any audio outlets or anything like that. So I'm taking it for a quick boot now to just do a quick review on it. I absolutely love this bike. It's so sick. It's probably one of the best sounding bikes, well, ever, that you're ever gonna ride. It sounds kind of like an old 911 Turbo or, you know, old Porsche kind of thing. It's truly addicting. It's got 106 horsepower. It's not too bad considering it weighs just under, or just over 400 pounds, sorry. And has 50 foot-pounds of torque, so it's pretty nice to ride. Like, it's not anything crazy, but again, it's a 675, so it's not supposed to be too wild. It's got a very linear torque curve though, so it pulls really, really hard all the way through, all the way up to redline. It makes peak power at around 11,750, I believe. And the torque peaks out at around 9,700, so it starts to pull the torque or build the torque around 4,000 though, which is where it makes all the intoxicating noises. And I really, really hope that the audio catches the noise that this makes, because it's so addicting. So I'm not going to take it out on any crazy roads or anything today. I'm just going to take it for a quick boot around the city and you know, just get a quick review in about it. I had never driven a naked bike or a triple before, and never really knew what to think of them. I never even actually knew what they sounded like or what they were all about. But I will say that the 3-cylinder is incredibly smooth. It doesn't matter what RPM you're at, it never buzzes. It's just buttery. I love it. This Street Triple R is equipped with the quick shift option too. The quick shifter allows you to shift at wide open throttle or partial throttle without the clutch, so it almost sounds like a dual clutch system on you know, an R8 or any sports car that has a dual clutch in it. It sounds really badass and allows you to shift really, really quickly, and also allows you to shift mid-corner without really upsetting the chassis, which is really nice. It's a very light bike. It's nice and flickable. It's very maneuverable. These little mirrors on the corners are great too. You don't have the buzziness in them either. I don't know if that's just because they're attached directly to the bar or what the case is, but that sound is just something. I really hope that it's resonating through there. I'm going to do a couple pulls on a straight stretch from a dead stop, just purely to catch the audio on this thing. I honestly would buy this bike just from the sound it makes alone. I've ridden a lot of different bikes, and I don't think I've ever ridden anything so intoxicating in my entire life. Now this is the R edition, from my understanding. It does get a little bit more power, a little bit better brakes, and a few other little goodies that entice you. This one does have the Aero slip-on exhaust too, which isn't that loud. All the noise you hear from the bike is purely induction, but it does add a little bit of a scream to it. You'll hear it on the flybys. It's a beautiful sounding motor, there's no doubt. And the fact that it makes such guttural intake noises at low RPMs kind of stops you from you know, staying in the higher RPMs where it, trust me, still sounds really good, but you find yourself playing on the low end torque, or playing with the low end torque more than you do with the peak horsepower. So the seating position's really nice on this thing too. It's a little more raked than the Duke 90 that I reviewed the other day. You are sitting a little bit more aggressively forward, like on a typical Super Sport, but you still can maintain quite an upright position with it. The seats, it's nice, it's soft, it's not overly supportive. It's one thing I did like about the Duke was it did have the cups on the back to support your butt. This one doesn't, but it is a very nice seat. And I did do a long ride on this bike, longer. I did about 400K or so on the bike. Quite aggressive riding too, and it didn't affect my bomb. I didn't get, you know, a numb ass or fuzzy hands or anything like that, which is nice, because on a regular street bike you do find a bit of a comfort problem, especially in your lower back and in your upper shoulders from sitting so far forward. It was a bit of a concern of mine when it came to turning what this would be like, but with these raised handlebars and the upright Street Fighter style, it handles great. With that torque that builds so low, you know, I'm in 5th gear, 6th gear, and I can pull no problem in full throttle if I ever need to pass or do anything. Plus, when you're only doing 100 or so, and you get to push that throttle and hear that grunt, that induction grunt, you really don't mind it. My other concern before I rode this thing on the highway or on a longer ride was what it was going to be like with the wind buffeting, and how this little windshield would do, or whatever you want to call it. It's not really a windshield. How it would do with deflecting the wind over my head, and if my head was going to be shaking all over the place, or if I was going to feel a ton of pressure on my chest. And it was very surprising. Never had an issue with it, not even a complaint once. Even at higher speeds, it did really well. All in all, you know, I give this bike a 4.5 out of 5, I guess you could say, whatever you want, 9.5 out of 10. It's a very pleasant bike to ride. It's very easy to ride. Nice short seat height. I'm only 5'6", 155 pounds, and you'd swear the bike was molded for me. Sounds amazing, comfortable as all get out, nice responsive steering, very lightweight. Again, very good for a beginner bike, and even someone who just wants to have some fun with it. Would make for a good city bike too. Clutch is nice and light. You're not going to kill yourself in traffic, you know, burning out your forearm and your fingers. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And this is me signing off. Thank you. Here's the homestead, people. All Season Motorsports. It's where it's at. Quads, motorbikes, Sea-Doos, snowmobiles, you name it. You can rent them all for the low price of, go to the website, allseasonmotorsports.ca, and have fun. Bye-bye.